Okay, Saturday, 24th of January 2026. So, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Understand, appreciate, and leverage the cone of learning, which is an interesting thing in psychology that talks about how the more active an activity is, the more involved we are in something, the higher the retention, the more we learn and remember. So, the more involved we are in the conversation, if we're teaching something or we're doing something, we remember more, higher attention, more active. But if we're just simply reading about it or hearing about it, listening about it, then we retain less. Now that's a very interesting bit of nuance with regards to humans, with regards to who we are. So there's two interesting ways to leverage this with regards to learning. One, of course, active, doing stuff in the world, going out there, F around and find out, do stuff. But that's high retention, but not easily scalable insofar as we have to physically go places, to physically move places. And that's fine because it's high retention, so it's an interesting risk reward. But we have to exert energy, calories, joules, etc. to go places, but high retention. The opposite end of the spectrum is, let's say, videos, is watching videos, reading books, or even to the point of reading things with AI. Extremely scalable. A book is what, $10, $20? And AI is what, 10, 20, 30, 60 or so dollars a month. Ask it 1,000 questions, read 1,000 pages, analyze and study, even combine the two. It costs next to no time, and we can do it from home and do it from anywhere in the world. But it's low retention because it's so passive. So you see, on one hand, we have high retention by physically doing stuff, but it costs time and money and energy. It costs petrol to drive, say, 10 or so kilometers away. But over here, this book here cost me $20 in October 2024. It's in Spanish, Game of Thrones books, the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. $20, physical, it's in my hands, but I can read it over the course of, say, weeks, analyze each page and dissect each page a lot deeper. So you see, this is low retention with regards to learning Spanish grammar, but it's very scalable. I can process each page, I can dissect it to the nth degree, fractally, there's no limit. So understand that when it comes to learning and understanding how we approach understanding things in general. There's the slow, high retention way, physical, doing stuff in reality, in the world, and there's the digital abstract way of doing things, listening, watching, reading. Because you go deeper, why do I need the physical version? Why not Kindle version, for example? How many books on Kindle can you have on your phone? Ooh, interesting. What was the old saying now? 1,000 songs in your pocket? Well, why not 1,000 books in your pocket? Same idea. You could even go deeper in the context of learning languages. Well, why do you have to buy books? You could argue, why not just read the online news websites? Has potential too. With regards to, it's always something new, and the point is to read and scan and analyze and dissect and reverse engineer. But this is powerful. Because, as I said, there's no limit to how many books you can have or how many you can need and dissect it. But it's passive. You might need, say, equivalent of, say, 10 books for what could be the equivalent of, say, 1,000 hours on the ground of speaking to people. Ooh, it's that. But 1,000 hours on the ground mean you've got to physically be there and you've got to eat and sleep and all the rest. But over here, 10 or 100 books is easily affordable. You can get them online, things like that. Wow. So understand there's an interesting dichotomy with humans and with how we learn and retain information. High retention, low retention. Scalable, that's the key thing. Scalable, low retention but scalable. High retention but not scalable as easily. 1,000 hours, you've got to be there. You've got to travel places, trains and buses and airplanes and cars, all the rest. Now the trick then is really we need both. We need both in regards to life. Over here is in case of being socially calibrated, and here in case of learning the skills in theory, all the theory, and over here is all the practice, putting it into practice, sharpening the skills. Both are important. And to neglect that would be not socially calibrated, meaning you could make more faux pas, make more mistakes, needless, faultless errors in society and world. And over here, you're missing out on data and information and statistics and human nature, anthropology, psychology, practice, the grammar. In this case, in this context, grammar. You're missing out on the fundamentals, the building blocks. Because I also say to my clients that the more mistakes you make with me, the fewer mistakes you make out there in the real world. That's powerful. So understand the cone of learning. Understand the high and low methods of retention as we learn things. We need both. The low retention for scalability, because to learn this costs nothing but time and energy. No putting lives at risk, because you could be extremely fractal and say, to go to these events, you're putting your life at risk with regards to car crash or things like that, or making a serious faux pas in public and damaging reputation, things like that. Whereas over here, there are fewer risks, but it's slower. That's the thing. It's slower. This takes time to read and dissect. It's slower, but the risks, the downside, are a lot lower. And that over here is what gives the high retention, because it's visceral. We remember it. When we see it, when we feel it, it's visceral. I did a video 6 or 12 months ago about violence is, I'm pretty sure I did, a strong way of communicating, because it's primal. It's deep down inside us. We remember it. We retain it. It hits the nervous system directly. So going out into the world hits us directly. In a primal way, it leaves a strong imprint, high retention. Over here, low retention, but scalable and safe. We need both. In order to master things, we need both. The practice and the theory. Very important. And fundamentally, the more active the way of learning is, the more we remember, the more we learn. Very important. Very fundamental. Very fundamental. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.